am Orlando Jones, and I just want you to know that the Moana Nui Podcast will be starting soon. Stay tuned, yo.
I'm Veronica Taylor, and from myself and Ash Ketchum, I just want to say, Moana Nui, I choose you!
What's up? My name is Alan Z. I'm with Moana Nui Podcast, and I'm at Rangerstop Orlando with Bulk, aka Paul Schrier. Let me start the way around. Paul Schrier, aka Bulk. How you doing today?
I'm great, man. I'm good.
Schrier. I messed up your. I knew I was going to.
That's okay. That's okay. No worries. I know it's only 4 short letters. So it's nice to be here with you. I'm happy to not have Jason Narvy with us, because what a dick. Or Richard, if you prefer to call him that.
So speaking of the dynamic with you being, part of Bulk and Skull, like, how did you guys work in chemistry? Did you have to kind of work through it together, or did it feel very natural, you guys coming together for the show?
Well, it's pretty easy for us. We both have very similar backgrounds as stage performers, and he had a lot of almost identical experience to me doing Shakespeare, and so we had an instant rapport working together. So it was pretty easy. He's a damn good actor.
Yeah.
I mean, he smells like shit, but great actor.
So I want to know a little bit more about your Shakespeare background. What was it that was similar to you that you...
Well, the thing about Shakespeare is that although it might seem really flowery, it is super simple when you break down the text and really work on it as an actor. So the motivations of the characters are very clear. The obstacles in front of them are... God damn it! It's Jason Narvy. Jason!
Hi, Paul. What you guys talking about?
Nothing.
Good to see you, good friend.
I was just telling the internet how much I love you.
Oh, that's so funny, because I was just painting the highway.
Yeah.
I was painting your face right against the highway, and then I got lost in your eyes.
The eyes have hills.
I know, because I started painting over at Disney World, and it's got 3 or 4 hills, so your left eye is a castle.
Have you ever tried to order fish tacos at SeaWorld? They don't like it.
No, they don't.
They're so good. Just the fish. They don't like it.
Yeah. You know what I used to love? I used to love the orca steak. They don't serve them anymore.
It's a black and white issue for me.
How so?
Well, the orcas.
What's black and white and red all over? A killer whale is a steak.
Oh, God. Would you like a chair?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Just because I'm sick of you sitting on my lap. Like, Gary. All right, that's fine.
That's fine.
Hello, children. What would you like in this commercialized holiday?
So the first question I have for him also applies to you. My name's Alan, by the way.
Hi, Alan.
Nice to meet you.
How wide is that lens?
I can...
No, I can be waiting. No, you get up there. I'll be in the background. Go ahead. Go ahead.
It's a fisheye. It's a 5.9.
Oh.
Yeah. Rack focus to the big nose in the background. It's now it's really getting bigger. Yeah. Optical distortion. It's not for children.
Was that a punk band? Optical distortion.
Alan, what brings you to podcasting? Why'd you do it?
I'm not even a podcaster. I'm just helping out with the Rangerstop. I'm actually an artist, a music artist and actor.
Awesome.
So it's just a way to have that with the con, because I know Karen and Mikey.
Oh, right. Cool.
We love Karen.
Yeah.
And we love Mikey.
Mikey is wonderful.
Yes. Yeah.
Very put together.
Yes.
Very clean young man.
Yeah.
Unlike most people we know.
Well, unlike myself.
You sound clean, Art?
So Bulk and Skull had good rapport.
Yeah. So
Bulk and Skull like Bulk and Skull, so
Yep.
it was fun to work together.
Yeah. Like some gum.
Sure. Yeah, why not?
I'm just saying.
What do you got there?
Gum.
Oh, this is that Prozac gum you just take.
Yeah.
Whatever you need to get through the night, baby.
Yeah, dude. When I come to these cons, I just feel 12.
Okay.
Live in Yorktown? Live in Yorktown. You know, we have a town in Pennsylvania called Allentown? Oh, you're sorry. You know how much that cost me? It was like 52 cents. Our show was
I'll
not
leave that on the ground. I don't have any standards at all.
Here.
Did you just lick that?
I did. That's why it's sticky. Oh!
You said you have a town called Allentown? Are you from Pennsylvania?
I live there now. I'm not from there, but I live there now.
Okay. So the question I had for him applies to you as well.
Okay.
I know you guys have a Shakespearean background, so I wanted to know a little bit more about like how that brought you guys together closer.
Well, it gave us a basic vernacular, you know, because we knew how to deal with the language, but also with Shakespeare. So when we started, ironically, plug, I'm directing 12th night at East Rutherford University, Pennsylvania. When we started doing Power Rangers, actually, Paulie was still in college, and he was finishing up a production of 12th Night, which is a Shakespeare comedy. And there are two characters in there that are basically big guy, small guy, big guy, skinny guy. Sir Toby Belch and Sir Andrew Aguecheek. And Paulie used to always say, it's Shakespeare's Vulcan Skull. So not only do you have this language, which is either archaic or chunky and poetic, depending if you're doing comedy, tragedy, or whatever, but there's a lot of blanks that you get to fill in because the characters are not fleshed out with psychological realism like a new one. So when you do Shakespeare, you create a character, and you start that character with the language. And so when you take something like Vulcan Skull, who have very little language, you already know how to create characters, and then how to maximize that little bit of language that you get.
Okay.
Is that the way to put it?
I think it's
No, it's great.
very eloquently elucidated.
Thank you. Good word.
Very eloquent.
Wait till you get the invoice.
We charge by the letter.
Yeah. Don't send it to me. So I know you mentioned directing. I know you both of you guys have done directing work. Could you speak a little bit more on that side?
Yeah, it's really hard. It's the only thing in show business that's ever made me really cry.
It's humbling.
It is.
Humbling.
Well, I mean, you know, in a low-budget environment, it's very challenging because you have to shoot 16, 17 pages in a day, and there's no time to get artsy with that. I mean, you just gotta lay it down, you gotta hit it, you gotta move on, so that the crew doesn't mutiny and put antifreeze in your breakfast burrito tomorrow.
You're the captain of the ship, but you're also not the highest person on the totem pole. You
Totally.
have to make everyone else happy.
When I directed Rangers, I actually got to work with many of the actors that are here as when they were kids. They played the young Power Rangers. And a bunch of them are guests at the convention this weekend, which is pretty awesome to see them again. Now they're not 10 years old. Now they're 32 years old.
Yeah.
So it's been 27 years. But when you're shooting with kids, they're like, okay, you got 4 hours. How do you want that 4 hours? Because they have to go to school during the course of the day.
Right.
So you can take 2 hours in the morning, you can take 4 hours in the afternoon. You can break it up any way you want, but you're only going to have them for that until they, as they say, turn into pumpkins. And then after that, you're trying to find the shortest person on the crew and put a wig on them and the kid's shirt so you can shoot over the shoulder.
Right.
So you would do no reverse angles on any of the kids. This is pointless. And then honestly, I just put a mannequin there with the kid's shirt or a bit of their hair, and you're able to get the reverse.
Right.
So the kids never really got the experience of doing the scenes like we would normally shoot them. So very challenging. Mostly challenging because of timing.
Well, and that's it. I mean, right? That all requires prep. All that stuff you're talking about, so directing is prepping. And you hope your prep works. And if your prep didn't work, you hope your brain is sharp enough that you can make a strong decision like that.
Yeah.
And when you consider the types of personalities you have to deal with, talk about a kid versus someone that is twice or 3 times your age and your mentor, like Elon, who is your DP, who you have to tell what to do, or what you want done, I should say. And then you've got these little kids. You're not going to be able to talk to them in the same way. But literally in the same sentence, you have to be able to talk to the kids. Everything's good, and this is what I want you to do, Jimmy. And Elon, I need 5'9", 20 feet, and I need it to turn and focus full on this, blah, blah, blah. And then you have your first assistant director, which is another whole thing. So it's literally almost like speaking 4 or 5 different languages all in a small, condensed amount of time.
So being that you guys mentioned like prep work, like how detailed would you say is your shot list on a day-to-day? Like if you had like a scene to shoot or like a couple scenes to shoot, like are you more of an improv?
No.
You guys go like
No, that's a waste of time.
Yeah.
No, people that shoot from the hip like that are not fully committing.
Okay.
They have overestimated their own talent. Like, okay, John Ford, a master of cutting in his head, only shooting what he needs, and basically not giving an editor a lot of leeway, because you only got X number of shots to cover the scene, and that's what you get, editor. It's not good to improvise when you're directing. Not good.
No.
You get backed into a corner, and then you come up with a bright idea, and you should have had that bright idea last night and wrote it out, because then you could have executed it.
Well, and something not even just last night. I mean, think about it. Think about stuff that you'll see Scorsese doing, like in we'll say Casino. He had a lot of shots that would start really far back, and they would swoop in, and they turn, and they crash. Well, how long in advance do you need to schedule that equipment?
Yeah.
If you want that one shot, you're not just going to be like, you know, it'd be great. It's like, okay, now.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the F1.
No.
Oh, no,
Damn it.
What the fuck is that going to me?
I didn't want to be a nun anyway, it's all right.
So there you go. You know, prepping is time. You know, and time is money, and you know that expression is practically born with filmmaking.
Yeah.
Well, and so don't forget, you take a script, and directors who know what they're doing or really like in their prep, they start doing storyboards. It doesn't mean you're not necessarily an artist if you're a director, right? Like you don't know how to make the face, so you make little figures, and you have to show where the eye lines are going to be and where it is. You know, and those need to be able. That's another form of communication you have with your, camera crew, right? And if those aren't clear, you're screwed.
Yeah.
You know, so that is almost like a different kind of shot list. You have a little shot list of we need a close up of this, we need a master shot of this, but okay, well, which master, which lens? Is it a tight? Is it well? Here's my picture. Make it look like this. So there's a different kind of shot list you have to have also.
Right.
You know.
So outside of Power Rangers, like as far as stuff that you guys have worked on or directed, what are some of your favorite like projects that you were part of? You like to talk about?
Oh God, that's tough. That's a tough one. Well, we've done a lot of theater, so theater is very rewarding, right? Because you've got live audiences,
Instant feedback.
Instant feedback. You know, and those are great too because one night it could be the best performance you've ever had, best experience. The next day, just soul sucking and horrid. You know.
How many Hamlets have we done? 3?
Probably more than that.
Well, you've done.
I've done. Yeah, you and I probably did 3.
So many Hamlets.
I think we did 3. Right? We did 2 live. You directed one, I directed one, and then I think we did like a stage reading first.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. So. So yeah.
And I know you guys have done voiceover work too. Is there any projects that you're particularly fond of or like that you would like to speak about?
No. We like getting paid to perform.
In front of the
Yeah.
But we don't. It's like bad relationships. Once the gig is done, I don't really look back that much. I'm kind of looking ahead.
Gotcha. Yeah.
At what I can, what's going to happen next to keep my wife from chopping my head off while I'm sleeping.
Yeah, I agree. But what I think the thing that always makes me feel good about a project is that I've worked with people that I like working with, and so you are looking forward to the next one, right? Like we just did a project, Johnny and me and Paulie. Like we had one scene together.
What was it? Arc Exodus or a different one?
Different one.
Okay.
Different one. New one.
Trailer just dropped this morning.
Dropped this morning. I think the new working title is Spades.
Hopefully my character won't be named Mom this time.
Yeah, no, he's not Mom. He's a captain. He's the captain.
That's great.
He's a captain.
You're damn right.
Damn straight. But it's great to be on set with somebody that you like, trust, and just like being in the general vicinity of. So you look forward to the next one, right? You always look for ways because it's like your buddy say coming out there with your baseball, like, hey, you want to play ball? I'd love to play ball. How much is this one going to cost us? $2.4 million. Have you seen my day rate? Well, we're going to 2.4. Maybe the next one. Okay, you put the bid down.
You got a day rate? Damn.
No, I didn't get a day rate.
Totally. So before we close this off, do you have anything you want to say to like Rangerstop Orlando fans, or have there been any moments like this weekend that was kind of like cool to you, like if a fan has like said anything or giving you anything? Like,
oh, they said lots of things.
some good things.
There's a lot of emotion.
Yeah.
in this convention because of it being something that people grew up with in their formative years and being pretty OG to their hearts. You know, if you're committed to coming to an event like this, you really like the thing, right? You know, so people have some really sweet, very touching stories about how a simple kids show has really altered their lives.
Yeah. You know, so it wasn't this one, it was a recent one though. Which I hadn't over the years had a lot of these, and somehow I got 2 the same day. It was New York, so I don't think you're there, but I had 2 people come up to me within a couple hours, completely unrelated, don't know each other. They were both Vietnamese American, or they grew up in America but were born in Vietnam, and told me how much TUI had meant to them, to see themselves, not just themselves, you know, not somebody that looks like them, but has been through their experience and came out a stronger person, how much that meant to them now that they're adults. It's almost like now that they're adults, they can see how much that built it. You know, when they were a kid, they're like, oh, that's neat. Yeah. But now that they're adults, they're like, that was huge. Yeah. You know, that was, and so that kind of stuff happens a lot particularly at Ranger-centric events, because we dealt with kids, right? So we were there for their formative years. So no wonder there's a nostalgia, kind of like, not just, hey, I remember you, but like, that was an important thing. You were my safety blanket or whatever.
Absolutely. You guys were like the first show that I ever watched when I was 4. So
see what I'm saying?
It's very, very like, you know, it's like comforting and it's like, you know, it's familiar.
Yeah, absolutely, you know. And I'm sure if we were to meet Mark Hamill, we'd cry like a baby. Right. Or he would.
Yeah. All 3 of you will cry.
That's right.
Well, you didn't play Dexter, right? You didn't play a serial killer.
No.
You know, or some kind of...
Well, you never know. With Bulk and Skull...
Boy, that's a dark turn, homie. That is a dark turn. The bottom of the coffee cup said, Kaiser Soze!
That's funny if that's how they figure out Kaiser Soze. What is that? Starbucks! Kaiser Soze!
So what's your band called?
I'm a solo artist. So
oh, really? What do you, are you electronic music or do you play instruments?
So I'm a hip-hop and R&B artist.
Awesome.
So,
you sing as well?
Yeah, I sing and rap.
Nice. Awesome, cool.
So I went on my first tour as a headliner last year.
Congratulations, how'd it go?
It went great. Like,
that's awesome.
And I've been just gigging and doing like a lot of like out-of-state shows.
What's your stage name?
It's just Alan Z, so my first name's Alan and last initial is Z.
Cool. Awesome. So are you blowing up merch?
Yeah, actually, like I've sold like 70% already of my merch. And also as an actor, like I'm starting my agency now, so I feel good about that.
Where are you based?
Atlanta.
Oh, nice. That's great.
But I have an agency in LA as well. So
is the industry popping in Atlanta right now?
I mean, yeah, but like I still feel like it's not as big as LA. You know?
Well, I mean, it'll never be, but you know, it'll certainly be big for the region or for the size.
For sure. As far as Southeast, I would say it's the biggest for sure.
Yeah.
But I think the reason I asked so many directing questions is because like I wrote and directed a film that started in last year. Mm-hmm. So I know how hectic it is to direct, and that's why I asked about shot.
It's so shot. It's
high. What are you doing? Acting and directing.
That's
and right now I wrote it, and then I had to. And then AD dropped out, so I AD'd as well, and then like
you need a good AD. That's the thing. You need someone to be the bad guy.
Alan, tell me straight. Did you have a psychic breakdown? Did you have an emotional issue?
Yeah.
How long was your shoot?
It was a 5-day shoot, and then we ended up having a reshoot for 1 day.
And it was feature length?
No, it's a short film. So what we're trying to do is like we're trying to go to film festivals or find a finance here to turn into a full length.
Right. But, well, I mean, Atlanta's got great film festivals. That's how it's really great. Like the Lost in the Noise and the film festivals are, you know, there's some great ones, and you know, but Atlanta has fewer, I think. And, well, obviously fewer than LA, but fewer. But they have a lot of high caliber ones, so therefore it's easier to be heard above the noise. Okay. At least that's the impression I got.
I compliment you on accomplishing your goal.
Thank you.
Of hitting and doing the short film. However, look at the TV now. 5,000 channels and nothing on it.
Yeah.
The distribution channels are screaming for content. So if you can expand that vision,
for sure,
and come up with longer form content that ticks all the boxes, not necessarily Netflix, but something down there.
Definitely would be a goal for sure. I think the main thing, the reason why we did a short film is because of budgeting. It's just because sponsorships were like, you know, it's there, but like most of it I have to like finance myself. You know what I mean?
That's a hard thing. I know, and that's the catch-22 of the short film.
Yeah.
What do you do with it? you're done. You can show what you
But 80% of the effort that you put into the short, you could have shot a 90-minute thing and actually had a boat that you could put on the river.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Exactly. Because that prep, right?
Yeah.
How much of that prep costs money? Nothing.
Yeah.
None of that prep costs. It's just longer prep. So once you start shooting, once you've rented this stuff, once you have it for 5 days, getting into the 10, 15, 20 days.
Totally. And once every college film, like, the people sitting in a cafe talking for the whole thing,
Yeah.
Every collegiate.
My coffee with Andre.
Exactly. But yakety yak film. Honestly, once you're in place, just keep rolling. Oh, yeah. Just keep rolling.
I would say this though, I feel like it was necessary to do the short because if we did the full length, there's so many errors that I would wish I would have to do. So
That's fair enough.
again, I was never a director.
Yeah, and post-production is longer.
We're still in post-production now.
Exactly.
And
Challenging.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
Cool. Well, rock on,
Yeah,
brother.
thank you so
Good luck
much.
with your career.
Good to meet you. I'm sure we'll see you more.
Thank you
as
very
we
much.
go.
Thanks.
For sure. See ya.
Thanks.
So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf. If they won't tell it, we will.
If this the land of the free, it was a freedom then. When they annexed Hawaii and called it Cedar Lands, without any type of payment and no signing off. Called themselves the Republic in 1894. 1.2 million acres overtaken from the native Hawaiians. When they resisted, the West retaliated in violence and erasure. The Hawaiian language is banned as part of colonialism's plan to expand, yeah.
Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Multiple bombings of Kaho'olawe as a part of their ongoing war with Asia. Used it as a place for target practice. No consent or compensation. Colonizers call for annexation. No work out for all the locals. School will never let you know. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If they won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If they won't tell it, we will. We will.
So if we put Hawaii into perspective, well, Black and Asian history is interconnected. Considering the fight with the Pacific, then of course, versus Asia, they was treated as a middleman for war, but didn't let the Western colorism run its course, cause dark skin was a sign of dignity to core. The land was taken in the name of capitalism, when prior to it was an actual kingdom. Clap back at the system.
Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Multiple bombings of Kaho'olawe as a part of their ongoing war with Asia. Used it as a place for target practice. No consent or compensation. Colonizers call for annexation. No work out for all the locals. School will never let you know. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If they won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If they won't tell it, we will. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If they won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If they won't tell it, we will.